Hi, what's up, everyone? Can you see me? So now I am live on YouTube and Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So today, actually, we're gonna learn something very first step of learning Japanese speaking skill and communication skill. So if you have any request, you can tell me. Okay. So my name is Terumi. I am 35 years old. I'm teaching Japanese for 6 years. Now I'm living in Europe, but I am totally native Japanese. I grew up in Japan for 28 years. I didn't go to university. I started working from 18 years old. Of course, only Japanese. I couldn't speak English at all. And until 22 years old, I was working at the company in Japan. It's countryside. And after that, age 22, I start doing the business in Tokyo because I said, okay, the life is only once. I need to do something for my future. It's so many years you have, right? And I have too. Still, I have like more than 60 years. And you have maybe 50 years, 60 years, maybe more, 70 years. Anyway, it's a life is only once. You have only always two choices. You be a Japanese speaker or you will never be a Japanese speaker, or you're gonna start something, the things you really like start a business, becoming a freelancer, or getting the online job, or you apply for the Japanese company or not. It's always, you have several choices. That's amazing. But it's also very few people actually start uh, the action, the decision and action is always difficult. You're always thinking and hoping, but it's what is the real action? So today, actually, if you really want to learn Japanese speaking skill and communication skill, you can make this action to learn first step. So finally, that's why I can speak English, because I made a decision, so many things in my life. I moved out from my country. Now I'm living in Europe, and then I start the business in Europe again. And then I made a lot of decision. I made a lot of action too. That's my result. So that's why there's no hope, but you can make an effort and then you can see the result. So today, let's make some action today, and you can learn speaking and communication skill in Japanese. So what do you think? Hi, everyone. I can see your comment. Hey, I really want to learn Japanese. Yep, you're the best. Oh, thank you so much. You made my day. Thank you so much. So this is a live streaming. You can watch on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and YouTube. YouTube. I said YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. Yeah, Instagram actually, it's a small, like, how can I say, the display. You cannot maybe see full screen. So then if you really want to see clearly, maybe it's better YouTube or Facebook. You can see more clearly. Okay, but if you are busy, if you are on the train or somewhere and you just want to check quickly, Instagram also good. Yeah. So please comment anything you want. If you have any requests already, you can comment here. I'm checking always comment, and today we can learn together the first step of Japanese language. Okay, so let's see. So Sensei, good morning. I want to learn Japanese, but I also want to learn everything about Japanese culture. Japanese culture. Japanese culture, if you say, it's so many foreigners say, I love Japanese culture. It's like I like European culture. European culture, what is that? European culture. What is the Japanese culture? We have so many. Mitsubishi company is making from ramen to space rocket. So that's the Japanese culture. Mitsubishi is one of the really traditional company. They make car, they make pencil, they make ramen, they can make a space rocket, they can make a nuclear bomb also. So which means this is Japan. You cannot say what is Japanese culture exactly. You have to say always specifically, because otherwise, I like Japanese culture. What, like a ramen or entertainment? What, like a traditional kabuki or like pop culture, like a visual kei, so many type of entertainment, right? So Japanese culture, if you say 日本の文化 is a too, huge, like too wide. So that's why you can always share with the native Japanese people. Oh, I like this, not the Japanese culture. It's too like wide. Always you can say specifically. So if you can find the best friend who likes the same things with you, like same hobby or same interest, so you can make a friends. But you need a discussion. So you need a discussion to share your information. That's why communication skill. So I can share my favorite YouTuber before we go into this Japanese communication and speaking skill first step. Yeah, this is my interest, my favorite YouTuber. So let's see if you can see me clearly. I hope, because it's streaming. Okay, so this is YouTube, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna introduce my most favorite YouTuber. It's a Horiemon channel. So Horie Takafumi. So he's an entrepreneur and he has a space rocket company and he had an IT company, and then always he shares some information about business or any space industry, and any like about lifestyle or like education or anything like they are talking about. And I really, really like. I mean, he's so famous in Japan. Everybody know about him. So that's why his name is Horie Takafumi. So if you like IT, or maybe you can check it out. Yesterday I was watching here. DX が進められていますが、将来なくなる仕事は何? So DX is the how can I say, digital transformation. I think digital transformation. So because the IT improved so much, and then the country or company transform to totally different things. This is like DX. So DX が進められていますが、DX digital transformation is improving, but what about 将来? 将来 is future. Future, in the future, なくなる仕事, the job that it's disappear. So this is everybody know, right? Everybody, you already know that it's so many things will disappear because it's AI or something. And I was watching this one. If you understand the language, of course, you can watch a lot of YouTuber, or you can get a lot of information, maybe sometimes better than your school, because if you can search so many things. Yeah, maybe you can hear.
はい、こんにちは。本日も今日もですね、堀江さんに優しい子を教えてもらおうと思っております。はい、教えた堀江さん、今日のテーマは、なくなる仕事でございます。なくなる仕事、はい。今安泰そうに見えてるけど、将来この仕事もなくなる、あの仕事もなくなるよみたいなことを、DX とかっていう言葉が流行って。
So this is actually my favorite YouTube channel I was introducing. And what do you think? You learn Japanese and then you say, I want to communicate with the native Japanese people. Of course, this is my mother language. Of course, most comfortable language when I listen. Oh, like I feel like a home. I can understand everything. I don't need to even translate anything. So, but it's for you, it's totally different language. Of course, you feel like I don't understand anything. They speak so fast. Oh my God, I don't understand anything. But of course, I became an English speaker. This is my mother language too. Speaking English is super different, right? So you can do this. Of course, I could do. Now I can understand this, Japanese YouTube channel. This is my mother language, super comfortable to listen everything. But also I can speak English. So of course, your mother language is not Japanese, but doesn't mean you cannot understand the Japanese conversation, but you need specific training. When you really have this, communication and speaking skill, you can join the conversation with them. You can discuss about something more. Of course, you can get a lot of information. You cannot imagine so many information. You can get so many friends, so many new community you can join, and this is life changing. You will change all environment, people, job, and the thinking way. You will become super worldwide thinking way, because you can communicate with Japanese, we can discuss with them, you know and always I watch American YouTuber, or like other, like a British or Australian. Sometimes watch Greek, or sometimes watch German, and then I watch Japanese, and every country has a different color, and it's so fun, and you can get a lot of information. So that's why this is he was she is actually very famous idol it was, but she couldn't so much successful. And then she became like kind of like a worker for Horiemon. So his name is Horiemon, nickname is Horiemon. So Horiemon is, as I said, it's a entrepreneur, and he has a lot of company, and he's one of the really famous guy in Japan too. And then I always watching this one. So what do you think when you see, oh my gosh, super fast, I cannot understand anything? There's no meaning to even click Japanese, YouTuber, because no no idea what they're talking. Of course you feel like this, but doesn't mean that it will continue forever. But then what do you need to start? Today you want to understand this conversation, for example. One more time, speed. Please teach me kindly. What's the point if you want to learn the job that it will disappear? What's the point, or something they are talking? くだらないこととは Why don't you think this job it will disappear or not? Try to judge the job is disappear or not, to think about future. So anyway, this is for example, Japanese conversation. You want to join with them, or any conversation. This is about IT, but you can of course search totally different things about fashion industry or other YouTuber. There are so many, like tons of YouTuber, right? And then you want to join the conversation. You cannot understand anything, and now you want to learn communication and speaking skill. What do you need? And definitely, I'm gonna say, please, at least you don't need to talk about IT in Japanese today. That's too hard, too difficult, too high level. But what do you think? Try to introduce yourself. Who are you? My name is something. I am from somewhere. I am working at this company, or I want to live in Japan. Express yourself. This is the first priority. If you cannot talk about yourself, how are you going to talk about IT or economy or fashion or entertainment, right? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You cannot introduce yourself, but you can talk about the IT. That doesn't make sense. That's why most important topic when you start the language, when you start the Japanese language, please start from the self introduction. Okay. What the fuck? They are selling something right outside, like potato or something. Okay. So let's see the comments. That's why today I'm gonna teach you how to make your self introduction, because you want to join the conversation with them like other Japanese YouTuber, but you cannot express yourself. You cannot introduce who you are. That's weird, right? That's why I'm saying, please introduce yourself. This is your first priority. Okay, so let's check your comment. Japan is one of the largest, greatest country to visit, not just for the fact of anime, cosplay, shopping, and stuff. but it has amazing history too. Thank you so much. Yeah. As I said, Japanese culture, if you say, is too huge, right? You know, like IT industry, yes, and it's entertainment industry, yes. So that's why you have to choose the topic. That's why you need a self introduction, because you cannot learn if you are not interested in IT at all. You will never discuss with him, right? If you don't like IT, you will never discuss with the specialist of IT in Japan, right? So that's why you have to focus what topic do you want to talk. That's why Japan Language Factory, we are really focusing on your self introduction, the best of the best self introduction. You know, if you are specialist of camera, then discuss about camera 10 minutes, 20 minutes, so you can find the specialist of camera in Japan and you can be a friend. Maybe you can work with them. Okay. When you apply for the job, also, what kind of job you want to apply or whatever you want. I don't care what type of Japan. It's just if I can take a little money, I don't care what kind of job. Then you will not study Japanese very much, and your salary in Japan is very low, and the life is gonna be a very very tough. So what's the point to live in Japan if you say greatest country while you are not focusing on the topic that you want to discuss about, right? So that's why you should really choose the what kind of topic you want to discuss with them, with the Japanese people. So that's why we're gonna make the self introduction. So this is the first step. Make self introduction perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna share next topic is about our master course. Our master course, short version of the textbook, you can download at japanlanguagefactory.com. Okay, you can visit japanlanguagefactory.com and you can download a free version of this master course. Okay, so let's share. Okay, let me see if you can see my screen. Okay, great. Okay, so this is a master course. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, great. So this is a master course, a short version. This is starters version, and this is free. You can download at japanlanguagefactory.com. Okay, so master the Japanese language just in 2 months. Of course, you will not join this IT conversation right away, but you can talk about yourself, something basic things, who you are. I'm not gonna tell you discuss about coronavirus, discuss about the economy in Japanese. Such a high level, it's impossible to do in 2 months. I'm not saying these things. I'm saying you're gonna introduce yourself perfectly, so you can go to the job interview, you can apply for the job, you can change the job, you can live in Japan, you can start up the new life in Japan. This is because you need a self introduction to explain who you are. Are you dangerous person? Are you criminal? Or are you very good person in Japan? Even you can speak a little bit. So you have to introduce yourself. This is a first priority. Okay. And then the first step, create and memorize the perfect self introduction in Japanese. Do you remember? That's the first step you really need. Okay. So that's why I'm going to help you today, this topic. Okay. And then today we're not gonna do this, but it's after the making the self introduction, you're gonna go. This is step 2: learn and memorize the question most asked by Japanese people. So you can express yourself with the step 1. I am like this person. My hobby is this. I like this culture, and I can discuss about this culture things because I really like. So you express yourself, but it's also step 2. You really need to understand the question, because otherwise you don't understand the question. People ask me, "What does it mean?" I can introduce myself, but I don't understand what you're saying to me. So you have to understand the question also. So job interview. So what kind of question is the most useful for the job interview, for example? You should learn this question, okay? Then step 3 is learn and memorize the most useful reaction. Reaction. Where you from is the step 2. Question. And you can answer, I'm from the United States. And then, 素晴らしいですね。どこの、州ですか ?Which state? Great. And which state? These things are reaction. You can something react the conversation. Japanese people say, for example, like Horiemon, oh yeah, you should not work with this industry because it's gonna be a disappear in Japan. Then, 教えてくれてありがとうございます。Thank you for telling me. I didn't know that. 知りませんでした。教えてくれてありがとうございます。Yeah, like this. Reaction. Thank you so much for telling me. I didn't know that. Really, you can be such a good person, right? Or like, I cannot answer anything. What's the point to talk with you if you cannot answer anything? So that's why you should know reaction also. Okay, so learn and memorize the most useful reaction and feedback. Thank you so much for telling me. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm gonna write down memo and I'm gonna search it, for example. Like this, amazing reaction is always useful. Okay. And then step 4 is learn and memorize the phrases you can use when you get confused while listening. So, like IT conversation, it started. Oh my God, it's so difficult. But still, you don't need to panic. Okay, you just ask, oh, DX は何ですか ?What is DX? DX ね、デジタルトランスフォーメーションだよ。デジタルトランスフォーメーションだよ。デジタルトランスフォーメーション何ですかそれちょっと待ってください。Just a moment. I'm gonna search it. Digital transformation. Yeah. You just need to express yourself that it's I want to learn. I'm not be panic. I'm not like a crazy guy. I just be panic. No, I can answer. I can react. Even if you speak to me very fast, still I can ask. This is really important. Okay? And then next step, pronunciation check and then practice. DX は何ですか What is DX? For example, if you want to ask. But if you say maybe DX はなんでですか なんでですか and なんですか is different. But if you say なんでですか then what do you want to ask me? What do you want to ask me? So pronunciation, of course, very important. It's such a small differences, but it's different meaning. なんですか is what is this? But なんでですか is why is that? Why? Why なんでですか or なんですか what is that? So it's totally different meaning, but you just made a mistake for the pronunciation. Then the conversation stopped. Okay, so pronunciation are so important. You made a perfect self-introduction. You learned the perfect question. You learned the perfect reaction. You learned the perfect phrases when you got confused, but pronunciation was wrong. So I don't understand what you're saying. So pronunciation is so important. And so many people ask me, oh no, I'm not good at pronunciation. No, everybody have the great pronunciation if you do the practice. Try to think how the kids are learning native mother language. They are training every day. Good morning. Good morning, teacher. Good morning, miss. Good morning, miss, for 1,000 times during the school, right? And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Even the Japanese people doesn't have a great English pronunciation, but they didn't, if they don't try to improve their pronunciation, of course it's gonna stuck. So that's why maybe you can speak Japanese, but your pronunciation is maybe not so good. And then people are always asking you, oh, what did you say? I didn't understand. Even I couldn't hear. So then you have to improve, but you need a training. But if you do the training, definitely you can speak Japanese like native, like me. I'm not bad English pronunciation, I guess. I'm not so horrible, English pronunciation, right? But because I'm practicing so much from my self introduction, I it's embarrassing if I cannot say about myself, my name is something, I am from something. Why I need to speak so slowly? I am from something. No, before you talk about IT, please practice your self introduction. It goes like this, right? So that's why I practice so much about my self introduction, because it's just embarrassing if I cannot introduce even myself. I'm gonna not talk about anything. No economy, no IT, no food, no restaurant, no entertainment, no zero conversation if I cannot even introduce myself. Such a basic things. So that's why definitely you need to focus on the self introduction, and let's make perfect self introduction because it's very useful. First of all, you can change the job. You can apply for the job. You can even you can do the remote work for the Japanese company. So many things you can do with a self introduction, then you should do it. So the step 5 is pronunciation check and practice. And the next is practice conversation with the memorize self introduction, questioning, and the reaction and feedback. So what does it mean? This is a simulation of the conversation. So when you finish step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will do the simulation. So the best is if if you're worried to do everything alone, and then we have a master course, we have a private session to finalize all your self introduction and perfect pronunciation can have. But also, if you have if you have a lot of knowledge about the Japanese language, you don't need a teacher. You can do it by yourself. This is step 1 to step 5. And the step 6, also even you can do it by yourself. You just need to simulate yourself. Where are you from? 出身はどこですか? I'm from the US. アメリカ人です。アメリカのどこですか? Which state in the US? アラバマです。アラバマ state. そうですか。なんで日本にいるんですか? Why you are living in Japan? 日本で英語の先生をやりたかったからです。Because I wanted to be an English teacher in Japan. なんで日本なんですか? But why is in Japan? Because I love Japanese J-pop. 日本の J-pop が大好きで、アイドルと一緒にいつも踊りたいんです。I really want to dance with a Japanese idol. I don't know. For example, like this conversation flow, if you can make it, then you are ready to simulate yourself and you can go for the real conversation, maybe at the job interview or maybe make friends, private life. I mean, you need a simulation, otherwise you'll be just a panic all the time. Something. And then, how can I answer it? Okay, I think it's too slow. Maybe you are very stressed. Maybe I should not talk to you in Japanese. So, who can speak English with her? Where is the person who can speak English? Hey, and then no one in Japan, and then okay, maybe very low salary because it's very lack of communication, or even you don't have any friends because of lack of communication, and you go back to your country and then finally still I cannot speak Japanese. I came back to my country. It's very sad, very very sad, disaster for the dream country in Japan. So definitely communication is so important, otherwise you cannot fully enjoy the life in Japan. These things all the time happen when you're living in a different country. Yeah. So that's why this is a simulation is so important. You can finalize your speaking skill. Okay. And then be a Japanese speaker. You can apply for the job. You can change the job. You can go for the remote work, whatever you want. My Japanese friend is living in Poland, but still she's working at the Japanese company. So, I mean, you can live anywhere you want. If you live actually, you can live in Japan, but still you can work for your country, maybe. That's the opposite side. You can live in Japan because you love it, but you can still work for your country's company. Yeah, this is also possible. That's my friends is doing. Or like me, I really move in Europe, and actually I'm doing for the foreigner too. So you can really move to Japan and you can work for Japanese people too. I mean, so many choices. You cannot lose this chance. Okay. So let's see the comments. Thank you so much. So here, I hope a Japanese foreign exchange student will practice speaking with me. I love these people so much. I just want to practice talking so I don't freeze when I go to Japan. Yeah. If you can find like this, expats, or community or anything, if you can meet Japanese people, yes, you should. You should meet and you should try to talk and try to improve every day, and that's really great. So I think Japan, you have also to show your business card when you introduce yourself. Maybe it's 2021. I'm not sure, but definitely it was 90s. Like even 10 years ago, we had all the time it's a business card, and we are doing. Right now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's so much digital transformation, maybe like just the IQ code, and then please beep beep, this is my business card, beep beep, oh yeah, I received. Maybe because it's corona changed us so much, so even the maybe card is maybe dirty, then maybe just beep 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 beep, beep. Maybe so this is maybe standard. Let's see. So today we will do step 1. So do you remember this? Create and memorize the perfect self-introduction in Japanese. So let's create the sentences together. So today is we're gonna do only step 1, okay? And then, for example, if you apply for our master course, then you're gonna have like this one. But also, it's just so easy. Microsoft Word, you can just write it down like this. You already have the PDF of our e-free book, right? Then you can just write it down here, step by step. So, for example, how you gonna introduce your name? That's easy. That's easy. How you gonna introduce yourself? So let's write it down. So, 名前はてるみです。So, my name is Terumi. If it's full name, you're gonna put the full name, family name first. Yeah. Or you can even say my family name is something, my name is something too. So, pronunciation. 名前はてるみです。My name is Terumi. So easy. So I always say one sentence per day. If you can learn one sentence per day perfectly, that's totally enough, because 365 days later, you can have 365 your self introductions, 365 sentences you can have. You can have the perfect pronunciation because you did this first step 1 to step 5, and everything you did the simulation, you are ready to speak. So that's why if you're even still learning Japanese for many years, but you cannot speak many sentences, not 365 sentences, then something is going wrong. Maybe you're doing too much grammar, you're not making any sentences, you're not maybe do the training, any speaking. Too much grammar or too much just reading a book doesn't help, actual speaking. So that's why what you need is this. You need to create the sentences, and also you need to pronounce it correctly until you actually speak perfectly. So if I cannot pronounce it well, then you have to repeat. 名前はてるみです。名前はてるみです。名前はてるみです。名前はてるみです。名前はてるみです。I can say perfectly. Let's go. Let's go next. 名字はKai です。My family name is Kai. 名字はKai です。My family name is Kai. So because my family name is Kai. 名字はKai です。名字はKai です。名字はKai です。Repeat after me. 名字はKai です。ふんふんふん。ふんふん。名字はKai です。ふんふんふん。ふんふん。名字はKai です。ふんふんふん。ふんふん。Okay, now you can say, right? Then your speaking training is just already 2 sentences. Perfect self-introduction. You can do it. These things is every day easily. You can speak Japanese fluently. So then, 名字はKai です。That's it. If you want to talk about my family name meaning, then, Kai の意味は生きる意味です。Kai の意味は生きる意味です。The meaning of Kai is the reason why you live. Yep, that's actually my family name meaning. The reason why I'm living means. So, てるみの意味は意味 means meaning. This is really useful. 名字 is family name, as you say. 意味 means meaning. 意味 means meaning. So, てるみの意味は the meaning of てるみ、輝く。輝いて美しいです。Two good meaning actually for me. My parents put it. 意味は輝いて美しいです。The meaning of てるみ is shining, shining and beautiful. Too good. Too good meaning actually my parents put it. Thank you so much. ありがとうね。そう、てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。So you can introduce your name meaning, right? I think even the English or any country, I'm sure you have the meaning of the name. You can introduce your some like knowledge or about your culture. そう、貝の意味は生きる意味です。貝の意味は生きる意味です。I mean, it's no meaning to memorize my self-introduction. You have to make your self-introduction perfectly. If you cannot make it, we are here. Also, you can maybe ask native Japanese people. Okay? So, 貝の意味は生きる意味です。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。It's quite difficult to say maybe 美しい、美しい。Beautiful means 美しい。When you cannot pronounce it correctly, you just need to repeat many times. 美しいです。Beautiful. Do you remember we we just watched YouTube before? The conversation are so fast. If the native people, they speak, テレビの意味は輝いて美しいです。We speak like this. テレビの意味は輝いて美しいです。会の意味は生きる意味です。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. Yep. So, but you can speak like a native speed because you are struggling to pronounce it correctly. Then you just need to speak. First step, very slowly, super slowly. 美しいです。Beautiful. 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 Right. Then, all together. 意味 is meaning. てるみの意味は the meaning of てるみ。てるみの意味は the shining. 輝いて、輝いて。If you cannot speak correctly, 輝いて、輝いて、輝いて。美しいです。美しいです。All together. てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。And if you get used to it, let's go native speed. てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。A little bit more super fast than native speed. てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。Then, wow, supernatural speed. Yeah. So, you cannot speak suddenly today. Don't worry. But you just need the training. Otherwise, each sentences, you're gonna speak super slow, like the meaning of Terumi is shining and beautiful. It's gonna be. You just need training, but you need to stick the same sentences. Otherwise, it doesn't mean you actually thousands of sentences you read, but it's all sentences you speak like slowly. You cannot pronounce it perfectly if you're doing new sentences all the time. That's why each sentence is here is like a song, is like a lyric. If you have a favorite song, you're gonna sing so many times, right? In the end, you can be like a singer. So that's why this each sentences it's like song that you really need to follow the correct phrases, correct pronunciation, which is it's a song. You have to pronounce it correctly, otherwise it just sounds very weird, maybe super slow. My name is Terumi. My family name is Kai. Then it's very slow. 名前はてるみです。名字はかいです。It's very slow. 名前はてるみです。名字はかいです。名前の意味は生きる意味です。てるみの意味は輝いて美しいです。ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。Thank you so much for listening. My name is this. My name meaning is this. Thank you so much. Then, wow. At least you can be fluent Japanese speaker just 10 seconds today. Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe day after tomorrow because you need to take time. You need a time. But still, it doesn't take 1 year. If you do the training, okay, this is a really important training. Otherwise, you will never speak like a native. It's just very slow, or maybe grammar is super wrong, or the pronunciation is super wrong. And then you will never have a really actual conversation or discussion. Like, do you remember this YouTuber I share you? Like this conversation, you cannot join because you are speak something wrong or pronunciation wrong, super slow. That's why you need to stick the same sentences and then you just need to repeat. Okay. And then from the memorization, even start understanding sentence structure. 名前 means name. Wa is a particle. Terumi is my name. And this is it is. Yep. Sentence structure you cannot learn just a grammar itself because you don't know how to use it. The sentence must be first. After that, you can learn the grammar. It's like children, they do. Sentence first. After that, when they start going to the school, they start learning the grammar. You should not do the grammar first because you don't understand what does it mean anything about the Japanese sentence. Sentence first, and after that, you can do the grammar if you want. Yep. So that's why kai no is a particle again of. Kai is me, my family names. The meaning of kai. So the sentence structure is very, opposite side. So that's why if you try to translate from English to Japanese, you will never be able to speak because its sentence structure is totally different. It's not an alphabet. Sentence structure is totally different. Of course, you will never be able to speak naturally. But what I gave you right now here, everything is super native, natural sentences. Zero mistake at the pronunciation, zero mistake at the grammar. You should learn this. So that's why you should get the native sentences. So next lesson, we're gonna do this nickname. Okay, and you can introduce hometown. Where are you from? Such a very important things. It's a very basic things. And then even you can talk about recommendation of your city. Okay. And then here, place to visit your hometown. You can introduce, for example, you say, I'm from Italy. Oh, I really want to go Italy. Please tell me like your favorite place or recommendation. And you definitely need. I already said you don't need to talk about the economy or IT or any specific topic if you cannot speak Japanese. But let's talk about something basic things about you. Yeah. So that's why place to visit your hometown or famous things in your hometown so you can exchange the culture with the Japanese people. So and also you need to know reason why you're studying Japanese. Why? Why not Chinese? Why not Korean? Why not other language? Why Japanese? Definitely, you need to tell why you are learning Japanese in Japanese. This is the first communication with the Japanese people. So, reason why you're going to Japan or stay in Japan, you already live in Japan. Why? How? And then things you want to do in Japan. I don't like Japan. I don't need to do anything. No, you have to tell, I want to do these things in Japan, right? And job description. This is for definitely job interview and special skill also for the job interview and education also for job interview and activity and hobby. What kind of person? You're very outdoor outdoor you like or like indoor you like? So like what kind of person? You are always sleeping or you actually really active person? Activities and hobby you should share. And about future, oh, I don't care my future, I don't care, so I just work for today. No, you should say, oh, I want to learn Japanese and I want to start a business in my country about Japan, or I want to do something like other things that I cannot do in my country in Japan. I have a lot of dream to do. That's why I'm learning Japanese. Yeah, definitely you should tell. So all these things, if you can discuss around 100 sentences, if you can pronounce it correctly, if you can actually understand the meaning and the sentences, what you're saying, and of course, you can actually speak perfectly, like good speed, good pronunciation, and I'm sure you're ready to communicate with the Japanese people. Yeah. So this is not so far. It's just usually 2 to 3 months. You are ready to actually meet Japanese people. Mm. So thank you so much. So today it was a first step. First step. You should make effort today. It's just easy, one sentence, two sentences, but you should not hope, oh yeah, I'm studying grammar a lot, oh, I'm studying kanji a lot, so I will be able to speak Japanese one day. No, because you're not doing the speaking training. Speaking training, if you're doing, you will see the results, you will see the progress every day. It's just that you can speak much longer. Okay, so this is the real progress for the speaking and communication in Japanese. So thank you so much. So I had this comment. Well, your name and your last name have a kakoi meaning. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is my family. I have to appreciate it. Yep. Thank you so much. And Nicolaus, 美しいですね. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Hi. Thank you. This is easy to understand. お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございました。とても面白かったです。はい、Thank you. ありがとうございます。So that's why the goal is, you should think about goal is high. One more time. Let's see, my favorite YouTuber. So that's why the goal is you're gonna meet Japanese people and you will speak naturally to discuss about something. Yeah. これはこの仕事意味ねなったらと思ったらやんないね。やんない。
まあみんなお金稼ぐため。別に生活保護もらえる。これは人に必要とされてないお金してお金が欲しいと思わない。
そうだよね。
働いてて、ありがとうございますって言われたい。
そうだね。
言われたい。
さあ、ということで、then this is the last part that it's your goal is such high. You want to discuss with the Japanese people and this is possible. Why I can do. You can do this. I can discuss deeply in English. I can discuss deeply in Japanese. And I can communicate something basic things in Greek. And I'm trying to speak in German, the basic level. So you can do this. Just one language, Japanese. And you just need to do the specific correct training every day. Yep. So thank you so much. And we will see you actually tomorrow again. So you can check my information later. So if you haven't registered newsletter, you can check the newsletter. Okay. Or you can check my social media. はい。Thank you so much. またね。ありがとうございました。